Hello from SA Riverland Farming with your Olly. So I said I'd give an update on the garden. I planted the garden several months ago now and we've had quite a bit from it, especially lettuces. So here's the update, just a quick and short one, but it's doing really well and I've been really impressed. To walk around the corners of the garden, this is where it comes to and looks like. So many sunflowers because it was just too cold for the corn to take off. You can see some corn finally did take off, but I mostly planted sunflowers to provide shade. But the funny thing is it's been such a cool spring, I didn't need shade. And the lettuces, which are being protected by the sunflowers, are going to head faster than normal because of excessive shade. But that's okay. Still quite happy with the garden. As I walk down here, there's a series of sunflowers. I did have a rockmelon, watermelon, trying to get them to grow, but they didn't. I planted marigolds throughout the garden. They've all come up beautifully, just for the health of the garden, also provide bees. I planted some broccoli, which doesn't seem to really want to produce heads properly, but we have been getting bits to nibble on. There's more broccoli over there too, and I put it in salads or we'll have a dip. We had our first harvest of beetroot down here. The beetroots were massive. I'll show you soon because I've finished harvesting it. Well, except for those few plants. I'll show you inside soon. I red silver beet. The kale is still growing nice and strong. It's been great. Cut some this morning to make kale chips. And across over here with the potatoes that I planted. So just a big massive leaves. We've had quite a few flowers and it's just doing really well. Now I'm facing the other way. This was the little bed that I had and the boys videoed me planting carrots. So the carrots are coming along. We picked a few. The boys are always eager to see what's there. You can see them growing, doing all right. The beans I planted. I've picked heaps of beans today and the boys have picked quite a few as well. I've cropped back the parsley and basil. I have basil plants near the tomatoes too. Sage and thyme and Paul's strawberries are growing really well. They're cute little strawberries. They're very small and dainty. And Will's strawberries over here are growing well too. And I planted chives as a companion plant between it and they're doing well too. This section of the garden is the beetroot. I planted two sections, this lot here, then the next lot there, and there's still a patch up the back where the ties are to grow another lot, so we have a staggered harvest. As I said, some corn has finally taken off, which is really good. I planted more seeds, but I'm unsure whether I don't think they've actually taken again, so I'll have to have a look around and see. Our peas got mildew on them, so they've really slowed down, but there are still, you know, for instance, where are we? Down here, there's a few pods hanging around down here, but we're not picking them so much now. But the cucumbers are doing really well. We've had two crops that we've taken from the cucumbers through here. So here's the cucumbers. They're all along here and looking really healthy. I'm really impressed. And all down and through here, the beautiful sunflowers. Sunflowers are beautiful. They just make me smile every time we come. And look at that, bees on them. This one back here looks like a big dish. And I planted 3 or 4 different types. There's some hollyhocks in the background there. Still the sunflowers across there, and even these ones here, like a burnt red type of sunflower. They're just beautiful. Some more over there. Zucchinis are at the end of the garden here. They haven't really grown that well yet. I have a feeling it's because it's been so cool again. So I've picked a few, but they haven't been overly healthy either. But it's growing and the plant's actually starting to look a lot better now. This is the other side of the cucumbers that I was showing you. Growing really well still. And then down and through in here, there's all beans all through there. Has several plants really healthy. So again, marigolds. And then through here are all the tomatoes that I planted. So there's about 6 rows of tomatoes here. I've got stakes put in, but I haven't had time to actually stake them to the stakes. So it looks like there's 3 rows, but there's actually 6. Growing really well. There's fruit coming on. I'll show you. Tomatoes here. This is just a smaller plant. Look, we've just found, they're not ready yet. So we just found some that are yellowing. They're the younger cherry tomatoes. There are, I think, 6 or 8 varieties I've planted. One specifically for sauce, which I'll actually use for relish. Then your gros lyres and different cherry tomatoes, even a fruit fly free tomato. So here we go, another one down here, more through there. And I'll take you around here. Oh wait, some hollyhocks that want to say hello. Aren't they beautiful? Nice burst of colour. Some yellow ones here too. Look at them, aren't they gorgeous? I love flowers. Just heading towards the other end of the garden. So the tomatoes continue all the way down. I have the smallest cherry tomato plants mostly down this end and the younger plants. So coming back across here, you can see there's a good crop starting to grow, all these tomatoes here. So not too long. I better get them all staked though.
Show them this one.
Show them that one. Oh, these ones are getting bigger, aren't they?
But just
yeah, and here. Paul wants me to show you these. I might need to get rid of that one. Yeah. And yes, you can see them all coming along nicely. So yeah, I'm very impressed with the garden. Yes, I'm hoping the garden to take us right through summer and to produce really well. With the flooding, the flood doesn't affect us in itself because we're too far away from the river, but where we get our water from is linked with the pumps in the river though. So power's being cut off along most of the pump lines. Our pump for a specific area of our property is cut off and we need to use a solar pump now or a generator. That doesn't bring water to the house but to some of our paddocks, but where we're connected to next door, they've had permission to be able to organise themselves so they can keep their farm running, otherwise they'll lose what they're doing. I don't know if we will still be able to carry on getting water like that once it's completed. So if that falls through, I have to say goodbye to all this gorgeous garden and not have our own garden. But I'm hoping and praying that it'll all go through smoothly for them, that they can provide for their industry, but also that we can still have water, not only for the veggie garden, but for the whole farm. Because of course the water comes through for our sheep as well. But yeah, you work really hard and these surprise things happen, so you got to take it as it comes and see how it goes. So here's coming from the garden what we have picked today. So, and there's still plenty more lettuces I could have picked, but I just chose to leave them in. So there's, I'll come around this way. Here's the beans that we've picked so far, so there's quite a few in there. And so yes, I was talking about the broccoli, so I pick it like that and we just use it in salads. Cucumbers, I picked about 6 more this morning and now we're gone by morning tea. That's our second crop that we've just picked within the last few weeks. This is full of parsley. Totally, really full. Oh, and here's the thyme. So I'm actually going to dehydrate these, especially the parsley. It's like a whole basket full. The basil here, I'm going to dehydrate as well. It's just a big freezer bag full. And the beetroot. So yes, I was talking about how big it is. Look at that. They're huge. They've grown so well. And it tastes beautiful too. I love to grate beetroot into salads. The red silver beet. I'm going to chop that up and freeze it for when I make stews. And I'd cut all this kale this morning to make some kale chips. The children love making kale chips. And yes, again, the lettuces. So I have 4 variety of lettuces growing. I have picked 3 today. This type here, which was they've been knocked around a bit by the sunflower's leaves and coming up to seed. Not yet, but they're starting to. But this lettuce is really sweet. It's called Little Gem. These 2 here do have more of a taste, but it's still okay. And I like to mix it with other things. And it's still, just knowing it's homegrown, it's nutritious and very yummy for you. So yeah, so that's our harvest just from today, and I'm gonna get busy dehydrating. So yeah, I'll tell you again how it's going later on, do an update again, show tomatoes, and hopefully if it all goes smoothly and well in the garden, gets to finish and go the full course of the summer, I make relish, tomato pasta sauce, that's the one. I make pasta sauce and many other things. So if the garden goes through, I might even show you how I make some of these things. So till next time.